So in watching Paedon Brown's live, there was a bunch of stuff that he talked about in that, and there's a lot of things that I've noted from the last season that we just watched that I just wanted to compile all of it into a video. I think we just got more and more insight recently to the realities of what all of us were kind of seeing from the very beginning. When Paedon was doing this live at the beginning, he was basically talking about how he had a really, really good dad up until he was 12 years old.
So when Isabel cried about not being able to have dad there, that was legit.
Isabel, if you could do it in September and had to do it by yourself with just Wendy taking care of you.
It wouldn't happen.
Or wait 6 months and be able to have me and mom go.
I don't know. It's not that you're not important.
It's not.
What are you feeling?
God, I know. I'm not going to get surgery by myself.
No, you're not. That's not an option. I wouldn't do that to you.
Okay.
When Gabe cried about dad not calling him on his birthday for his birthday.
That was October rolls around, specifically October 11th, my birthday. And dad calls me. We have a small discussion about how bad my COVID was. I didn't remind him that it was my birthday because I wanted to see if he remembered. And he didn't. It was a lot worse than just a phone call for me. He tried to call me back, tell me happy birthday and make up for it. And that's the last time I ever talked to my dad.
Gabe is still
He
so
should be.
harshly affected. I had an incredible father until I was about 12 years old. I had an incredible father who genuinely cared about me until I was about 12 years old. And my siblings had an incredible father from when they were born until I was about 12 years old. And then he changed. And by the time I was 15, he was a different man.
The thing that happened when he was 12 years old was Cody married Robyn.
When we were in Vegas, Dad was at Robyn's house. We would go to Janelle's house all the time, and Joe's kids would come over to Mom's house all the time and be like, hey, where's Dad? Not here. Oh, okay, he's at Robyn's house. We knew. We all knew. If he wasn't at these two houses, which he usually wasn't, he was at that house. Yes, and the argument and the excuse that's given, Solomon and Ariella are so young and they need their dad. Dad went on a nearly 2-week-long vacation with Robyn alone when truly had just been bored. You're really, and he didn't go to New York where Isabel was getting surgery. You're really trying to tell me that it's because of his 2 youngest kids that he decided, hey, I'm definitely need to stay at these houses more. Unless Robyn said, hey, you need to do this for my kids. Because Robyn absolutely did. Several times.
I want to say this at the very beginning. I'm not putting this on Robyn by any means. And the reason being is because Cody was the one that had 3 other wives and a bunch of children, okay? He was the one who essentially got to decide if he wanted to marry Robyn and bring her into the family. You know, he's always talking about how he wants to be the man of the house and the one to make the decisions and all that stuff. He could have worked on being a good husband and a good father with or without her. And honestly, I think whether it was Robyn or some other woman, I think basically the same thing probably would have happened. We now know that him and Mary didn't have much of a relationship. Him and Janelle didn't have much of a relationship. And he didn't even like Christine, right? I think it could have been anybody that he married, anybody that was new and exciting. And I think the same thing would have happened. We will never say Robyn is his favorite wife, but not only is she his favorite wife, she is his only wife. There's numerous reasons why this is so incredibly obvious and why it has been for a very long time. One of the things that has been speculated is that when they moved from Las Vegas to Flagstaff, people thought the reason why they moved there was because Robyn's son got accepted to school there. This is something that I guess people have been speculating on for a really long time, that what were the odds that they moved somewhere where they didn't have any family, they didn't know anybody, to go to the exact place where Robyn's son was going to school. Now, this wasn't Robyn's son's fault because he would have been totally cool with, you know, flapping his wings and going and living his best life without his mom and the entire family following him there. But what happened? Robyn got Cody to convince the whole family to move for one child.
And then Dad decides, hey, we're gonna move the entire family. Yeah, it's because Dayton got accepted to NAU. That's to the best of my knowledge. Dayton got accepted to NAU, and therefore Robyn said, well, I can't let my little boy go. We got uprooted for Dad's favorite wife. Realizing, oh, we've already said this on the show. Like, it's actually been said on the, like, the full disclosure hasn't been come out on the show, but it's actually been said on the show, so I can full on say it here. Yeah, I can't think of a single reason why Flagstaff, Arizona, the middle of Arizona, which is a state that none of our family lives in, and my dad decided, oh yeah, that's a great place to move my entire family. Hey Cody, I've got a great idea. So like, let's do this thing. Let's uproot our entire family and these 4 houses that we worked so hard for to a place that none of us really know.
Cody does so much more for Robyn's kids than he does for his own children. The issue with this was that when they were in Las Vegas, they all had their own homes. Most of them were pretty content. They had built a life there. And then they move somewhere where they know nobody and everything just crashes and burns. Robyn apparently uses the most resources in the family. She uses the most money. She had the best house. Whether you like your other wives or not, you married them, right? And you believe that your marriage to all of your wives is the same as your legal marriage to Robyn. It's basically like putting one wife in a mansion and another wife in a shack. The stark difference in how Robyn was treated, and not just monetary ways, but in emotional ways from all the other wives, is just sad. Like, some of his wives didn't even have houses, yet Robyn had one. Some of these wives were the ones that had jobs where they were actually making more money than Robyn did. I guess Robyn's only source of income is like the sister wives closet, which, how many people are buying from that? It almost comes off like everything in this Brown family is for money. It's all about money. And Paedon says that, you know, Cody was talking about how Robyn had to make so many sacrifices. But what were these sacrifices? Nothing. She didn't have to sacrifice anything at all.
Robyn found a man that wanted to take care of her kids for her and who would pay for basically everything she wanted. So yeah, good for her. She's a wonderful mother to her children, but holy hell, she ruined
Was that one of the sacrifices she made, Paedon?
What sacrifices has Robyn ever made? Oh no, she lives in the most expensive house she's ever been in her life. Oh my God, no. She has a man that actively loves her and would give up his children for this woman and her children. Yeah, good for her. Those sacrifices must be killing her.
And honestly, if you think about what she gained a TV show, she gained money, opportunity. She gained a lot when she went to the Brown family. She didn't really lose anything. Paedon also made a comment about how Robyn found a man to pay for everything, and that's basically how he views it. I mean, Cody says that he wants a wife that respects him, and he wants his wives to conform to patriarchy and all this, that, and the other, right? But it does seem like he basically does everything for Robyn anyways. None of his kids had ever been kicked out, but Garrison and Gabe, they got kicked out because they offended his wife, meaning Robyn, which is really messed up because they were the kids of his other wife who he was offending by kicking them out.
He says, I don't want your sons talking to the woman I love like that ever again. In my mind, that's a big no-no. That's not how you interact with your wife that you've been married to for almost 30 years. And then they had the fight. I don't know how much made it on Sister Wives, but then they had the fight of, I want those boys gone. Kick them out, bye-bye.
Gwendolyn, who seems very sweet and very careful with what she says, also very honest. She said that when she watches the show, she doesn't like Robyn, but it's not really fair for her to make a comment on it because she doesn't like Robyn anyways.
Has seeing the way people behave made us feel different about Robyn or Cody? I do feel less about Robyn from watching this, but I feel like that's not very fair from me because I don't really like her as a person. So it's probably not a completely valid response, but like watching her makes me like her less for sure. So Robyn's never reached out to me like she claims. I reached out to her on her birthday. I sent her a happy birthday, but she never did the same to me. So from my perspective, that's not, you know, the truth is what she claims. He's not actively reaching out to us. I've had to reach out to him and ask when he's available, but he has been working on it, and I think that he is getting better.
I think that Robyn is extremely fake for the cameras and tries to act like she doesn't have the strings quite like she does. But I think that behind closed doors that she's a very big influence on Cody and his decisions. But I will also say this, Cody's decisions are his own. He is the one that is the father of all those kids and who had these other wives, and he's the one that chose to make the decisions that he made. That's his fault. I do think that there is a lot of blame specifically put on Robyn, like she's a homewrecker, like she came in and destroyed this whole family. We really need to look at the source And the source is the man who had the 4 wives and the multiple children with all these wives and treated them like this. I also want to say Robyn was basically asked about having any other wives. She's so calculated with how she answers questions because she basically said that she wouldn't want any other wives because she'd be afraid of something like this happening again.
Do you think Kody would ever think about bringing on another sister wife?
I don't know. He has basically said that he's basically said no.
You said you signed up for a plural marriage.
Yeah.
And that's something that you want.
Yeah.
Can you see yourself asking him, like, let's try this again?
I can, but...
You can?
I'm scared of it because of how badly this has gone.
I think my opinion has been ping-ponging back and forth, but I think I'm going back to the original opinion that I had. I don't think Robyn would want to be put in the situation that the 3 other wives were put in. She doesn't want any other wives because she doesn't want to deal with what they went through. She doesn't want to be the old used up wife. There's no way in hell Robyn would ever let that fly, but she's never gonna say it. And I think Paedon confirmed it in this live when he was asked, do you think that Robyn would want another younger wife to come in? And Paedon was like, no, and there's no way that they're gonna take in any other wives. And he seems extremely confident in that, but he also expressed that he is convinced that his dad would like any younger woman that came in. Like if another 25-year-old girl came into the family and he started courting her, that Robyn would be old news, but Robyn would never have that.
Because then I'll just clarify the clarification. All that would do is clarification. Oh, so it is because Robyn's the youngest. And now your new wife is your favorite because she's the youngest. Robyn's 10 years his junior and the favorite wife. Coincidence? Maybe.
And you would think that Robyn would be okay with, like, you know, your dad courting a 25-year-old? Because according to Robyn, she signed up for polygamy. She didn't want, like, you know, she wanted the whole package.
Yeah, no, she didn't.
And that was her dream. No. Oh my God, that was my dream. That's her dream.
She was never a parent to me. She was never a parent to me.
I have also seen a lot of people talking about kiss that Kody shared with Aurora, and people are like, oh, is she gonna be another wife? That's just next level sick, and I don't think that that's gonna be an actual thing. I can assure you that if I had a daughter from a previous marriage and I left that man and I got married to a new man, there would never be a day on this earth that man would be allowed to kiss my daughter like that. I don't think that the parents in this situation are the best parents. It's a whole convoluted mess. Now, to wrap up this series of reactions to the things that Paedon said in the live that he did the other day, well, now last week, Sister Wives is gonna have to be over because I don't know how it's going to be able to continue without Robyn and Kody bringing in more wives. There's no Sister Wives, you know what I mean? Maybe they can have a spinoff called Christine and Janelle, or a spinoff called Kody and Robyn, which who would want to watch that? Not me. Paedon said in this live that when the last episode of Sister Wives airs, like the series finale, when it's over for good, that is when he will say what Mary did to them as children. And I will be waiting to hear that because I don't think somebody who hurts kids should be protected under any circumstances. I don't think what Mary did should fall back on anybody else in the family other than her. And I don't think it should be hush hush. I think that what she did needs to be out in the open because there were kids involved. You know what I mean? You guys are gonna have to let me know what your thoughts are down below. Everything about this was just crazy. We're gonna take a little bit of a break from the Sister Wives thing, I think, unless something insane came up that I need to talk about, and we're gonna get back to some other content. If you guys would like to become a member of my channel, I have a tier called Too Disturbing where I post topics that are too disturbing to post publicly, and the one that I'm going to be posting, it was hard to film, I'm not gonna lie. Make sure you guys join and become a member if you would like more from me. It also helps support my channel, which I greatly appreciate and love all of your guys' support. Subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, and I'll be seeing you guys soon for another video.